Halo, yo, kita balik lagi
I do love Spina di Rosula's logo. It was designed by
main-main
my mother.
Genshin.
Have you noticed how
Ya,
it's shaped like a heart?
sisa satu bro, story. Oh, ya udahlah, tamat ya. Tinggal nunggu update berarti. Nunggu update 4.5. Set. Nah, kasihku.
I really want to go traveling. I don't mind where we go, as long as I have my friends with me.
Sampai di sini.
Oh, oh, um,
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
strike a pop!
Can't see? I'll uproot you! Rah! Yeah!
Fire! Well, with rocks. Nah, watch out! Watch out!
One with the force. Sure. I hear everything.
Time to shine! Haha! Coming at ya!
Go 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 gaga. Physical aja. Physical lalalala. Ya terus questor yang tersedia.
Love speak.
We've been to so many places. Look, let Paimon think. Where are some nice places we
MTO
can
Cang
go?
gangguin
Oh, why don't
cloud
we pay
retainer
Retainer a visit at Mount Outsang?
si Bangau. Bangau.
It's been a while since we last saw that illuminated bird. She's always the one popping up out of nowhere and scaring us half to death. So let's surprise her this time.
Dah. Oke. Hadiah for
Oh, oh,
mana sih itu? Nah. Kurang. Oke, lo terakhir story story yang terakhir.
Here we are, right outside her place. Do you
Coba-coba.
still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Huh? Traveler? Did something catch your eye? Whoa. What a pretty lady. Is
What
she
a
also here to
pretty
visit
lady.
Convertina?
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special.
Si
As
Anyun tuh
expected of that bird lady, really.
Si
She
itu bukan
must have a
Sisa.
whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the
Yang
country.
tua itu.
Okay, but if we're
Madam
both
Pink?
friends of
Bukan ya?
Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association. Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's
Si
job
Anyun,
as your
si
reliable
Anyun tuh
guide.
Madam Pink bukan?
Paimon's got this.
Atau beda lagi?
Hello. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look human. How did
Oh,
that
si Retainer
Well,
tuh ini.
donning human form is
Ah.
scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
Bangau berubah anjir.
So,
Okay.
you're indulging now because...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip...
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you said... Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all.
Kalau Retainer coba cepet amat.
Well,
One has never found oneself
Yalah, bawa
lacking in
martabak
basic
pasti.
comforts. On the contrary,
Kita bertamu,
it is the
bawa makanan ya.
kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself.
Oh, turun gunung murid.
Right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe.
one planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew?
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so
Sounds great. Then let's all go to Liyue.
Pelabuhan Liyue, oke. Ribuan mil cahaya rembulan.
Ganyu has been quite busy with work as of late. One can count
kamu
on
bisa
one
dihitung
town
jari.
the
Oh.
number of times she returns to Mount Aocang each year. Shenhe had...
Anjir nge-skip dialog.
Did they think one was so easily mollified? One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
Oke, telek. Ganyu di Papolion. Let's go. Apa hubungannya dengan Ganyu anjir? Oh, Ganyu tuh murid ininya ya, Red Retainer kan.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see... Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly
Pindah
now.
aja.
One shall stay here. You two can go and
Kalian
meet
berdua
before.
pergilah menuju.
But why? Isn't it better if we...
Mending
If
barengan.
one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only... One does not wish to
Jadi aku tidak yang
trouble
merepotkan
her.
kalian berdua.
Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice.
Sedang berani.
Fair enough, makes sense.
Cloud Retainer? Oh,
Oh, busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Miss Ganyu?
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe...
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu.
Thank you, Huixin.
Padahal Ganyu kupingnya tanduk kan ya.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Bisa denger.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
you are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is...
Kenapa ngomong langsung?
Seems she's not buying it.
That was
Kenapa ngomong langsung
but
ya?
a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily.
Kayaknya shock lah. Cuma tahu memangnya aku sudah.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation. One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One
Baru-
thought it...
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Oh, Cloud Retainer's right. We've still got something super important.
Oh, is that so? But it's been...
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today.
I understand.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, it still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent.
Malah
You-
tidur.
Cloud Retainer!
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless.
Ngobrol apa coba?
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last... Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form,
A human name?
Iya aneh aja, kenapa namanya nggak
You
ganti?
raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent...
You really think so?
Bener, bener.
Not that you're not famous.
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible.
Canyon?
I assume that's a reference to the full... An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
Not exactly.
Wah, memang loh makanya.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in... It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation on top of the drought. A noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, the books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind
Ya
to
lah,
retain the
baca
cloud.
sejarah.
That's incredible!
Mortal records add
Ya lah, ngetes.
embellishments to
Ya,
drop.
Even so,
skip,
you.
skip.
Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect.
Skip.
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world.
That's a relief.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she...
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for
That's a
concern,
lot.
Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe
Budget banget ya ini
I
ya.
see.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had some...
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you around, Ganyu! Whew. Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think?
Memang ya. Guru dengan murid aja. Selalu mengetes dengan pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang aneh, bro. Ngetes sejarah lah. Anjir.
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is...
Ini keskip dah. Shenhe.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food
Gelo
is enough
ganti
to
skin
distract
dah,
from
ya.
the presence of a fine lady, huh?
Perasaan
I'm
biru
far
dah.
more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes.
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait,
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be
Ya
willing to...
elah.
What would you like to order?
uh, 2 servings of Mora meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Bye, mangkat. Langsung lari. Ditodong langsung.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's we.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xinyun.
Sini.
Master?
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
You...
Is something the matter,
Kenapa
Master?
terharu anjir?
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter.
And check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still...
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon, are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Shenhe tuh kerja sama itu Xianling. Ini mana? Oh, di belakang. Keren juga ya. Restoran. Jadinya di belakang.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by deal...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this...
Oh, how should Paimon...
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into humans.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has
Simply
scarcely
marvelous.
enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just as expected.
Dia tuh kangen banget sama kalian berdua.
I have
Oh,
missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future.
Whoa. Her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There were...
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how...
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about...
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to...
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that in response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to
ya,
use one of her
mulai
devices in
membaca
the race.
sejarah lagi, bro.
What kind of...
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again?
Sepeda listrik emang
An
ada.
electro-powered bicycle?
Electro-powered
You
bicycle.
refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands
Ternyata
of miles in
ya.
one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever
Pencipta
supposed he might best me in a
sepeda
contest of
listrik.
locomotion. Though he's... Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final...
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest.
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musing, 'tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous.
Mulai sombong.
What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud
To me, they are both, Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people.
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any... This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
Oh, rame.
I
Rame,
know
mulai
guests
rame.
come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Ya lo ya, enak ya.
I'll try my best.
Kerjaan di restoran enak kelihatannya. Tapi kalau udah penuh gini pusing juga, bro. Harus cekatan. Wow,
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
ada siomay, ada wow.
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of... The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny? But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't
Should
go
I
on
game?
for much longer.
Anjing bahasanya
you
kasar
could
banget.
always check with some of the other guests
Sudah
and see
game
if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Yuandai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears. Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for...
I want braised earthworms.
What the
They
heck?
always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
Cacing.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that? Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every... They died young. It's just me and Granny. But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle. And you're all...
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. You know, I believe I've had this dream.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept?
Yeah.
Am I not an
Kelopatan.
expert?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert.
The
In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave this situation to me.
Are you sure?
Paimon's Paimon.
Paimon.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Pesan dulu guys ya.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But Miss Shenyun, all we have to go off is that dream.
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once...
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places...
Why, of course I do.
Okay.
Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved. If it's true, then maybe they wrote
Mandraguna.
about it
Coba
in the
ada
history books or something.
A martial arts
loncat-loncat yang
heroine?
kata-katanya.
Oh, Shinjo knows tons about Liyue's chivalric tradition.
Are you leaving already?
I'll go order some food, Granny.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Street
Word Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once.
Always wanted to try this place.
This
To your heart's content. Today is my
Yep.
Yalah, jalan. Let's go, jalan aja.
It's you two.
Shinjo! Great, we found you! We went.
That's not a whole lot. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. All they knew was that after the drought, the way this
Thanks a lot, Shinjo.
It's nothing at all.
Well, Paimon?
Let me think. Perhaps the real-life heroine who You're welcome. It's rare for a chivalric hero to I've never understood.
We'll be sure to tell you if we.
That's a deal.
Paimon feels like we just. Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too!
Well, they used to. So while droughts do happen from the crops withered.
That sounds up.
Yeah. Still, they say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Yanyan, and Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Shinjo.
It's no problem at all.
Let's go nyusul ke Madam Peng.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, Ping.
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you make it...
Well, approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor? Not unlike the one that you...
It does not require as much as you...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping!
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed?
Shinjo has a theory, but let's save it for when she...
Shuyu dan Yohana.
Do not be troubled, young lady.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually
Yalah.
fell in love with an exorcist for... I
Keliaran
don't have
dah.
many memories of him.
Oh enggak.
But there was this one time I found a
Kirain
box in her
kabur ya.
attic full of a bunch of... I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dews. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's...
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time...
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
What's wrong, Shuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant. But are you guys all...
Oh! How about that?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen Yun...
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Shen Yun, since you were the one who, misspoke...
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Huh? I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated... I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all
Berasa lihat
icky
setan dah.
and gross. But then
Lihat
this
langsung
snowy
demam.
white... She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake. So, I just kind of wanted...
A pure white illuminated crane? Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hype.
That's weird. Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Okay, I'll go get...
Oke. Pergi ke Wangshu Inn. Ini mah kayak story apa ya?
Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And I believe I used to have a room here. It had a
I'll come with.
Hyman's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar... Whoa! Shao! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Ntar Songli ganti profesi jadi
and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's
Emang ada di
likely no
sini?
trouble afoot. I suppose it's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form. I have indeed.
Wah,
I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions
Ada,
during the
okay.
Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all
bisa
too well.
gitu aja.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating...
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? I can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your...
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape when dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world? A mortal form is hard.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago.
One believes there is little need to relive bygone...
Granny, are you okay?
Back then, at this...
Perhaps this conversation should end here. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud...
Everyone! I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long
Lebih seru
time
kalau
ago,
dub Jepang sih.
I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Download lagi ya sih, lebih seru Jepang sih.
Shinjo said was true. You did fall ill. Was that why you went
Lumayan gedenya download ininya.
I
Datanya.
don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating bird. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of... He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened, and it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me.
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just...
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior.
Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right?
Jadi ini tuh mau ngebalikin ingatannya kah? Tadinya tuh kan Cloud Retainer tuh mau ketemu dua muridnya kan, Ganyu sama Shenhe, malah jadi kesini aja. Apa hubungannya, bro? Malah jadi belok story ya.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Let me think.
Kalau di sini kan storynya sih itu kan, siapa yang bajak laut itu?
I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly before continuing.
Got it.
Yang bajak laut
There
cewek.
are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait a
Beido
second.
ya, Beido.
If I remember correctly, I
Kalau salah aku
believe I
bawa.
brought... Yes, I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, Take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and
Iya anjir, ini
strong.
mah storynya bayi tuh sini
Oh, thank you.
jalan. Ikan. Di map ada tanda itu, tanda X gitu buat farming artefak anjir di air bawah. Air atas sudah nggak kepake tuh nya. Farming artefak.
Place. It's
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu, this is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on,
Kabutnya hitam
so
banget
we
ya.
took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. You're so much like him, and I love you both, but you're always going to be different from me. I
don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet,
Banyakan
Shuyu.
dosa anjir.
I'm lucky to have you. All right. Let's not stand around any longer.
If one recalls correctly, the next
Banyakan
place
dosa
should
jadi
be
pikun
Chinyu
ya.
Peak. You and I, how fares your health?
I may...
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not. You have my aid in this endeavor.
Habis. Sengaja sih gua dub English ya buat belajar bahasa Inggris anjir. Kalau dub Jepang aduh kayak nonton anime gak sih. Tapi biasanya pengisi suaranya loh dub Jepang tuh mahal-mahal.
finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny Wendai?
Lebih mendalam sih kalau Jepang ya itu justru. Tapi ya udahlah.
How strange. Have I lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the
Lebih dapat
abandoned
aja ya
house
kan
earlier,
lo dari
though
Jepang.
I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression of.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Wendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsang? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsang.
Mount
Outsang.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsang, What am I really?
Mount Outsang holds some familiarity to you.
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and...
Meledak kah kepala?
Miss
Merasa berat.
Is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsang.
But...
Fret not, all will be well. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared...
Wait, really?
Langsung.
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it... It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax, soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia. Its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the...
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsang right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her... We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination...
Paimon thinks she...
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. Once secured such a tune...
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on...
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie.
Ditinggal. Uji nyali kan?
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? You already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to... It's all come back to me now. The most important...
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience.
No, it's okay. Now that I've... you... everyone... I cannot thank you enough for all your help.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are some time ago. I made a
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the
Siluman
sweet dew
bangau
of the
aja.
mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom, though she never took me on as a formal disciple. I always saw her as my master. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with... She was the one I looked up to the most. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take... She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years. And if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time...
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed. I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange
Translate
bird
mo.
among the two of us.
Dunia persilatan
But
lah.
still, just
Aneh-aneh.
like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to... I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away.
Oh no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a... I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a law. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a
Granny! What's
coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? Master, don't tell me.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity,
one still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain... One found you with such a...
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after...
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest.
Cutscene kah? Paimon aja bingung anjir. Yang dengerin apalagi gua, bro. Panjang banget ya. Ya elah, masuk.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Oh, itu Wang Suin berarti ya.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, but soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood as for how to deliver the medicine. After much contemplation, one took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wang Shu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's... One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
Yeah! Skyward! Yeah! Yeah! Scatter! Skyward!
Kalau si Anyun kombonya sama itu ya, si Gaming ya. Keren loh.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable.
Buat player baru bagus tuh. Ya.
One was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness or heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Scatter! Skyward!
Make way for the Adeptus!
Scatter! Skyward!
Yeah.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. Sad godly remains, in turn, were likely... One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by... In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradled. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
It's more than enough katanya. Lebih dari cukup, bro.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Udah 2 bawahan Chongliang. Chongliang elemen Anemo. Ini kemana sih? Ah, nggak bisa. Skyward.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one.
Bisa. Jadi Chongli itu bawahan ini, Cloud Retainer.
Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your... One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing
Sama-sama
with
muridnya.
Kalian Shenhe. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weak, it is a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode.
Thank you.
You and... One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you, even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories.
So, what's gonna...
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her scent.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever...
Not long. The trap...
Granny? Please don't leave, okay?
Oh.
You're all I have left.
Don't be sad, dear child.
Menjadi bangau
Granny
kembali.
has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind.
Terus
Don't
ini
forget
cucunya
to eat
gimana?
well, okay? A growing young lady
Jadi
like
bangau mini kah?
Promise, Granny.
Yang ada di itu apa? Pasar malam yang dari lilin.
Girl, don't worry. It's
Yang di
not
plastik,
goodbye
yang di
forever.
plastikin gitu warna biru.
Granny's gonna become the most
Pakai air
formidable
warna biru.
crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn
Malah
into
lebih
a
sedih sama
human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again, you and I.
Gemsinya capek sih.
Good. That's a good
Keliling
girl.
Taipat ya.
Even though we won't see each other for a...
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regret. I'm so sorry, Master.
Terima kasih sudah ada. Wow, meledak. Nggak bilang gitu aja, aduh parah. Harusnya gitulah ditambahin ya. Gila, transform.
Shiryu.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event.
Lihat.
Tears are a necessary part of maturation.
Lihat. Komenan apa tuh coba?
Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue
Hello, bro.
has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake
Apakah
you
akun
in
gua
due
kena hack?
time.
Tulisannya Rusia aja. Oke, lokasiin. Alamak bahasa apa? Gak tahu aja, datang. Itu Paimon bisa tidur aja nggak melayang terus ya? Kalau ada mail masuk jangan dibuka, oke? Aman. Nah, gel. Halo.
I always believed we would see each other again. That our days of separation would finally end. And all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you.
Yeah.
After all,
After
as
all.
an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Favorite.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Sedih kita kalau dia lulus.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you
Langsung
feel?
beda cerita, pastilah.
I feel...
Langsung bawah, langsung basah kali.
I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam
Dia lulus kan,
could I, ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people. Just
upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of...
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean...
Shuyu, are you Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret? We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like Genshin and violet grass.
Tuh, dengar tuh.
If you join them, you'll never enjoy One-Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such
Kalau
a
jadi
rule.
muridnya, sana bakalan
Every
dikasih makanan yang
individual
pahit.
must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one...
Whoa! You're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but...
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we
Okay,
found out?
nice. Golden crab.
Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
Kenapa ada crab di meja anjir? Kirain emang dari sononya. Oh, bisa diambil. Terus kita apa? Tunggu 2 hari berlalu. Oke. Oke, jadi begitu ya. Story Xianyun yang dimana kalau belanja apapun, kalau ada yang ditawar pasti itu kena strike ya. Yang kemarin yang di map baru anjir. Gak bisa nawar. Misalnya di Le Harbor. Oke. Tamat. Tunggu update berarti ya. Intinya mah di diskon langsung gas. Iya anjir, parah. Ini kemana? Tuh. Pancing harga diskon. Siap. Ini kemana? Ke
Your
kirain ke
concerns are
toko
excessive
parfum.
and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is...
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my pride. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back. Not even... I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Cloud. Miss Shenyan, what are you gonna...
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my
Anak
wares.
muda bebal.
I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several 100 years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over...
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future...
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Shiryu! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it.
Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy,
Ternyata
so
Xianyun juga
I
ya.
just left them outside.
Engineering ternyata.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything...
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Now, this expert you mentioned, when can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is!
Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an
Serba
expert
bisa
in
mah
all
kalau
manner of valuables and
iya
antiques.
anjir.
Mr. Zhang Li, this is Miss Shen Yun.
Semua
She's
alat
the one
di
who's
dunia
going to
ini
sell the collection
awal
of
mulanya si
valuables I
Ayun.
mentioned earlier.
Huh.
Kenapa? Hah?
If it isn't Miss Shenyun.
Ya,
It has been quite some
reuni
time
ke
since our
reuni?
last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous.
Ayo lagi RP apa
Have
ini?
you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhangli?
Lagi
Quite
RP
well,
kah?
thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shenyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhangli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shenyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing.
Not at all, Mr. Zhangli. Not at all.
While I am loath to
Sauju
put into
bingung.
this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean...
Huh! A preposterous accusation! The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Shenyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhangli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Shenyun, wait!
Kasih diskon lah.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhangli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed
Emang begitu
rare
ya,
and
ibu-ibu
precious
ya.
valuables. Take this mechanism,
Diminta
for
diskon,
instance.
nggak
Though
bisa.
one may not immediately perceive
Baru
its
selangkah
purpose,
keluar ya.
its structure and appearance
Dipanggil
are
balik lagi.
exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here.
Si paling
Few
tua
could
nih,
hope to
Zhongli.
possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhangli, I shall, of course. Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll
Oh,
take the
si
lot.
Shenyun yang jual kirain.
However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland?
The Northland Bank?
Northland Bank, gelo.
Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Zhongli!
Si paling bisa tuh
My
Zhongli.
friends, have you been doing well?
Shenyun yang jual, tapi
We've been great! How
jadi
about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant!
jadi sales ya.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been.
Dapat berapa tuh?
As for you, Miss Shenyun,
Komisi,
I presume
komisi.
you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true. Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud.
One has indeed. One's previous
Cie.
days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow.
MC jadi nyamuk tuh.
Peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000...
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
Langsung dipotong.
You make a valid point, Paimon.
Bocil.
Now that the sale has concluded,
Orang tua
let's
lagi
say one
ngobrol
plays
ya,
the
main
host as we try
potong-potong.
some specialty dishes together. One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries
Kan
ago.
reuni.
Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to... It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
Is
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make
bingung
your
aja.
acquaintance.
Ngarepinnya
Nice to
bingung.
meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
Justru itu makanan favoritnya.
sounds rather implausible. Although with the right
Adeptus
preparation,
temptation.
certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Bacot. Yeay. Langsung hilang. Dapat 60 primo. Oke, sip. Dapat 10. Terus event. Event udah ke 11 jam. Nanggung nggak? Nanggung besok lah, besok. Event besok, talent mau gacha Neovelet kah? Enggak deh. Enggak kayaknya. Partian ini udah cukup deh. Partian ini. Yang di bawah spiral cuman ini nih. Monogeo sama ini. Udah. Gak ada niatan gacha, paling ditabung lah primogem ya. Siapa tahu ada cara yang lebih bagus gitu kan. Tapi gue lebih tertarik kalau ada geo baru misalkan ya gacha lah. Pasti tadi itu mau ke ya, habisin ini. Nah. Shinori sih geo barunya. Nah itu paling gacha yang itu. Ya loading kebanyakan ini memiliki 34 12 3 6 Chinori banner di akhir sih pasti dapet lah sama weaponnya ya. Soalnya lagi red on juga weapon sama char gacanya. Chinori itu katanya itu ya apa skill burstnya. Oh pas pertanyaan sama Ito. Hah? Masa iya pas sama Ito ini berat banget. Gue mau gacha weaponnya Ito masalahnya. Lama kita tempat gitu. Gak bisa nabung dong. Bisa ditabung. Mepet banget ya. Fase pertama benar itu. Wah. Keduanya Nefulet sama Kejuha ya. Mepet. Soalnya Chinori kan skill burstnya langsung nge-switch ke karakter berikutnya otomatis gitu kan katanya. Misalkan Chinori disimpan di kolom pertama, duanya Navia langsung switch ke Navia.
I hear everything. Can't see.
Stand with me. Shower me with. Watch out.
Ajar kenapa itu coba. Weapon tuh gacha berapa ya? Kemarin tuh nggak dapet yang di banner Navia. Tidak bisa menabung. Riwayat coba. Ini facecam yang keluar. Ini Miss Splitter baru 10 berarti. Miss Splitter gak dapet. Ini 8. Ya udahlah. Update dapat lagi Primo, terus itu dapat Primo lagi. Event sekarang bisa sih. Dapat ini tuh toko coba 23. Baca weapon itu doang berarti. Aduh aja masa skip. Saya skip Chinori. Ini tuh RAM HP-nya nggak kuat bro. suka nge-close sendiri. Ini tuh suka nge-close sendiri. Cek cek cek. Oke. Ada. Dah ya, Genshin segitu aja kayaknya. Udah habis story sama nih, coba game yang dulu pernah rame, sekarang kayaknya sepi dah. Apakah bisa dibawa live streaming? Torchlight. Yang kencang. Up. Cek 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 cek. Mau coba game ini, mau coba. Papapau, 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 papau, papapau, papau, papau, papapau, papau, papau, papapau, papapau, papapau. Papau, papau, papapau, papau, papau, papapau, papau, papau, papapau. Torchlight terlalu berat berarti ya. Mulai. Coba mulai. Alamak, ketendang kah? Kayaknya sudah tidak kuat dianya. HP-nya tidak kuat. Padahal mau main game itu loh, keren. Torchlight. Klaim skin permanen, ngapain coba? Akun TikTok gak usah. Orang-orang udah pada itu ya. titik. Aduh. Tapi malas saya mau lihat tuh. Tai. TikTok ah TikTok. Ke close bagus. Dikit toko. Pahit aja. Coba. Wah bener-bener nih HP. Ngelag. Tidak bisa nonton live ya. Tidak bisa nonton live.
I need you, oh God, don't take these beautiful things that I've want you, I need you, oh, want you, I need you, want you, these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need
That's your habit. Misawinya geram.
Everywhere I go, I keep a picture in my wallet like you. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got.
Just hoping that it'll. You were so pretty.
Stop. berapa jam ini? Sudah berapa jam? 149 nanggung 2 jam. Kita nggak ada game bagus. Chili room. Ah, there's a place over there, look. What's over here? Check it out. Nothing wrong with the teleportation. What do we do? It's not perfect. Naga Clan. You can enlist warrior of the Naga clan by tapping on the pickle in the hero selection screen. Unlike the band of the champion gathered by us. Ah, chakra ada sini. Ada karakter one. Nah, ada yang lain nggak? Cuma skin aja. The new hero Allah $7.000.
このプラから本格アクション RPG 登場。広大な大地でモンスターを探索し、テクニックを駆使してモンスターを撃退。